Today we'll be looking at a very important topic. A lot of people have been asking questions. How do I get a male child? How do I have a female child? I have 3 male children. How do I get a female? I have 4 female children. How do I get a male child? That's been a very difficult question to answer in medicine, because how do you select the one that is for female and then the one that's going to be for male? Because we're working on and then looking at it and see, okay, how do we do it so that at least we'll be able to help those who will not be able to afford IVF, because during IVF, in vitro fertilization, those ones are able to select particular cell they want to fertilize and then do it, and then they're able to select the sex. But for those who cannot afford it, how do we do it? So that's what we're going to look at it today. How do we do it? How do we help those who cannot afford those ones? And so that we can be able to freely select the sex. Nothing is easy in medicine. We are not saying this is perfect or it is 100%, but I tell you, it has been working, and that's why we want to present it to you. So today we are looking at sex selection. So what we're going to do? What we are going to do is to take a look at the different characteristics of the sperm cells. Like we said, we have female sperm cells and then the male sperm cells. The female sperm cells, that's the one you say X chromosome. And then the male sperm cells is the one you call the XY chromosome. So let's take a look at some of the characteristics and then know whether we can capitalize on any of the characteristics to achieve a particular goal. That is what we have been doing, and it's working. So let's take a look at one. We know that female sperm cells are heavier than the male sperm cells. The male sperm cells are light. The male sperm cells are lighter. They are lighter. Again, the female sperm cells, because they are heavier, they are slower. They move slow compared to the lighter sperm cells, which are fast. So the female sperm cells are heavier and slower in movement compared to the male sperm cells, which are lighter and therefore faster. Then the third component we are going to add to it is their lifespan. Because the male sperm cells are lighter, they also live shorter. So they have shorter lifespan compared to the female sperm cells, which have longer lifespan. Okay, so let's combine this and then take a look at them. Because when we know that this is heavier, slower, and lives longer, and this is lighter, shorter, and have a shorter lifespan, then that will help us to manipulate the sex of the child. For instance, if we know the ovulation day, then we'll be able to work on this. For instance, supposing the woman's ovulation day is on the 14th of the month, of the cycle. Now, we know that the male sperm cells are lighter and faster, which means if you ejaculate all into the female reproductive tract, the male sperm cells move faster. So you move faster. Now, if we know that this is going to happen, that means what we are going to do is come closer. This is 13th, 12th, 11th, one day, 2 days, this is the 3rd day. Okay? So if we know that this is going to be faster, so if we are looking for a male child, we come close to this 14th day. What are we trying to do? Because we know that once we are able to ejaculate her within few minutes to hour, then it would have gotten up to this point, and then this is going to happen on this day, and therefore the time range is short. So this moves faster and meet this. Even before this, the female ones, which are slower, before they get here, the male sperm cell would have fertilized the egg, and only one sperm must fertilize the egg. So if we are looking for a male child, the first thing to do is to know the ovulation day, and then come very close to that ovulation day for the ejaculation. Sometimes you even move as close as on that day. So that as soon as it is ejaculated, sometimes the egg is already late, it moves so fast, and the fertilization has happened before the female wants to come there. You have achieved your goal. If you are looking for a female child, and you know that your ovulation day is on the 14th, you don't have to come close to 14. What do? Go far. Can come as far as this, because we know that a healthy female sperm cell can spend almost 3 days in the female reproductive tract. 3 days. So we can now capitalize on it. Now, if you are looking for a female child and you ejaculate on the 11th or 12th here, what are you trying to do? What you have done is, I ejaculate here. Ovulation has not happened. This is going to happen here. Now, by the time you ejaculate here, these are heavier, moving slowly. But the male ones are faster. They have moved and reached here, but there's no egg to fertilize. So before you know it, they will die. Those male sperm cells, which are lighter, they move faster. They reach there, but there's nothing there. They will die because they have shorter lifespan. Now, but then these ones that are heavier and slower are now taking their time, before they reach here. Then the 14th day would have happened, and then they approach the egg and fertilize it. Before this time, you have filtered out the male sperm cells. They may have died, leaving you with the female sperm cells, which is going to give you a female child. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Let's start at this now. Think about it, try to work on it, but the most important thing here now, having learned this, where the problem now is, how do you determine the ovulation day? That's another topic, very important one. It's only when you know the two and you're able to work on the two that you're able to achieve the goal. Please, what we're going to do now, help us follow the page.